Boston, and that mayor's going fucking crazy with her little power it is that she has, of course, always in the name of emergency. The Omicron, the Megatron variant, is despite there seeming to be less hospitalizations, and it seems to be a lot even. Like, I don't know if you could say more mild or less mild, but you get what it is I'm saying. It seems like it's less lethal from what the initial studies are at least coming out. But it ain't going to stop them from freaking out because of my variant, my Omicron variant. And this dipshit mayor, Beetlejuice, a.k.a. Lori Lightfoot, who's the mayor of Chicago, had some interesting things to say. Of course, the Chicago Public Health starting on January 3rd, and she's sharing this post. We're reading this from Twitter, where all the stupid people are. Well, I guess all the stupid people on TikTok, but there's a lot of stupid people on Twitter as well. Will require patrons of certain indoor spaces to be vaccinated against COVID-19. This decision is driven in part by the Omicron variant and is in line with requirements already in place in big cities like New York City and LA. Yes, those are the beacon of just American exceptionalism in New York City and LA. They're not shitholes at all. Not at all. But she says in the quote tweet, we wanted to get to this point. Yeah, you did. But given the situation we find ourselves in, we have no choice. Beginning January 3rd, you must show proof of you are fully vaxxed to enter bars, restaurants, fitness centers. So you can't go work out. Even though we know that these types of illnesses tend to prey on the obese a lot more than they do people that are not obese. You cannot go to the fitness centers unless you are triple jabbed. And entertainment, recreational venues where food and drinks are served. And as you can see, this is, she says, hospitalizations in the city are at the highest since our surge last winter. You would think you'd put two and two together. Okay, last winter we didn't have a bunch of these vaccinations that were rolling around. And now we have this new winter, yet, which is not just Chicago. It's a bunch of cities that are seeing this higher case rates, higher hospitalizations, and than what they had ever seen, even through the peak of this last year. And despite this year having a vaccination, it doesn't seem to be impacting the numbers in that regard as much as what they claimed. Yet, even if they admit that, like what this person does, which she's not expecting you to put two and two together, they'll still go double and triple down. These goddamn chrome domes, man. Deaths are at a higher rate than we've seen in months. On top of this, we can expect post-holiday surge in cases. This order will remain in effect in the city. Deems that the threat of COVID-19 public health has diminished significantly. Basically, it's indefinitely. That's what that means. Because the city that deems that the threat of COVID-19 to public health, that's all bullshit. That's all like jargon. It's not even meaningful terms. It just basically means when we decide that we are ready to end it, we will end it. Now, this is the most interesting part that she states right here. This is kind of in line with, I can't remember his last name. I think it starts with a Z. It was the White House briefing that we covered the other day, talked about this very subject matter. And he said this similar thing. And she says, to put it simply, if you have been living a vaccine-free life, your time is up. Sounds like a threat. Sounds like a fucking threat. I'm just being honest. It sounds like a threat. If you wish to live life as with the ease to do things you love, you must be vaxxed. This health order may pose an inconvenience to the unvaccinated, and in fact, it is inconvenient by design. Like I said, they want to just punish people that have not complied with them. That's ultimately what all this is for. Now, again, everybody's got to put their tinfoil hat on because we know that the actions that these guys are taking does not match up with what the virus is actually doing. Whether it be with the testing measures, whether it be with like in forms of like mass testing, especially on people that aren't even sick. None of that makes any sense. We've never done that over the course of human history, where we tested in mass for people that aren't even sick for this sort of a upper respiratory illness. Okay. So not just with that, but with, again, the reaction with lockdowns or mandates and like along those lines. None of that even makes sense. None of it matches what their reactions, what the actual virus seems to be doing. So at this point, it seems like all they're trying to do is just punish people that did not comply with them. That's it. That's it. And I don't know if it's something that they feel is offensive to them. I don't know if they have stock in Pfizer or Moderna or AstraZeneca or all these other pharmaceutical companies that have pumped out 9 new billionaires the last year. Profits, which again are exclusively are coming from governments around the world, because that's who's paying them to do all this. I don't know if that has something to do with it, but we certainly know it ain't got nothing to do with health. So it just seems like they want to punish people who seem to be a reminder. And this is why I'm ending this note. If you've had conversations with people out there, maybe on the internet, but just conversations with folks on this very subject, and you see how aggressive, I know they like to think that it's some sort of powwow going on here, right? But it's not. It is one-sided. It is the people who have advocated for jab mandates. It's not like we are advocating. The people that are not vaccinated, we're not advocating that you be or having the government force you to not be, force you to be unvaccinated. That's not what any of us are asking. All the aggression is coming from your fucking side. But you see how aggressive a lot of these people get in the event that you tell them that you're not vaccinated. They try to pretend like you're threatening them, even though that's kind of an admission that it seems like the vaccine isn't as efficient as they are claiming that it is, if they're going to be so bent out of shape that there's someone else that can pass it to them. But maybe they understand that, hey, doesn't look like your jab prevents transmission. Well, not looks like. That's what Dr. Rochelle Walensky herself or the CDC actually claimed. So with that being said, every time they see you, every time they talk to you, okay, every one of you guys are a reminder to these folks of folks that have, despite all of these threats, acts of aggression, coercive tactics, there are people that are still out there that have said, you know what, I'm not going to do it. And you are a daily reminder to all of these people, world leaders, and the little fucking dickhead minions among you. You are a reminder to them of folks that had not the intestinal fortitude, the testicular fortitude to look all of those acts of aggression and say, you know what, I'm not interested. No. And you held the line. That irritates them. That makes them upset. That makes them mad. And you can hear it in the way they talk, the language that it is that they use, the rhetoric. It is proof of that. They are absolutely frustrated. There are those of us who have simply made the decision, and not just made it. We have the capacity, be it in financial or whatever it is that we're doing, to say, you know what? No. Pretty little threats that you got there, but no, I'm not getting it because I don't want it. And to be fair, you don't owe any of these assholes an explanation as far as why you didn't get it. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.